Hey everybody, I just wanted to give an update to the update, I guess if you want to say. Like I said, I'm not a reviewer, I'm just an average guy that I bought some technology I like. I bought the Mylan, I bought the OUKITEL, we bought the PECRONs. We bought a handful of these power stations. This is a game changer. If you're a van life person or like us, we travel in an RV sometimes to kind of get out there and enjoy the world. This is unbelievable technology, but I just want to give you a quick update for that, that whole menu change. It's hidden, like they didn't, Pecron didn't release the updated manual, I think, but on their website they do have it. So I just wanted to, to try to help as many people as I can because this is $4,500 of stuff sitting on a dolly, and you really want to know how to use it. It's kind of like buying a car and not knowing how to, like use it. That's a lot of money you're going to waste, and I don't want to see that. So as you can see, we're drawing a very, very low draw. We did the capacity test. It was just over 7,000 watt hours. I think it was like 7,200 watt hours. That's unbelievable for a little box like this that an average consumer can stick in their house or their car or their van and be able to have 7 kilowatts of power at the ready for like whatever they need. You could run a 500 watt heater for like 14, what was it, 14 and a half hours. I mean, you could get through the night and have heat, in a small area. You can cut off a part of your RV and you could heat up that if you ever needed to. This could also, run appliances. We've had as big as 1,500 watts, which is like vacuum cleaners are very current heavy, circle saws. I charge all my DeWalt batteries through this thing. As you can see, we have all kinds of things going in now. We're testing it on a low current just to kind of see how much power comes out of this thing. But I just want to give you a couple quick updates. I know I'm all over the board here because I'm not a reviewer. I'm just an average guy. We have through this right here, this 15 amp cord is a very small kind of small. It's a 7.4 cubic foot refrigerator, brand new. That draws anywhere between 60 and 80 watts. As a compressor revs up, it kind of pulls less watts. Kind of like that diesel heater, which is another great idea for van and RVs and stuff. The diesel heater, it starts out heavy and then it pulls back. That's what compressors do. Just in case if you don't know, I learned that through a lot of people. So I'm pulling 5 or 6 watts. That's steady. That's two little things right here that are just pulling a little, enough to keep it active. It doesn't shut off if it's 0. You can set it in those options, as I'll show you in a second. Just to just kind of show that the stuff going on. And then this is for a little white. This is for my Star Trek warp core. I'm an old fella, so this is my 1701. I think Hobotech would like this. He seems like a spacey guy, so it's the ball, you touch it and blah, blah, all that stuff. But anyway, I want to kind of get back to the point. I didn't mean to ramble. So as you can see, we're pulling a very small load, and what I've noticed with the batteries now is the other video is I said they always had to be green. I've been in contact with Pecron for probably since the end of September. Their customer service is unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. I message them possibly 1 to 3 times a week with all the questions I have on new technology. I know they have new models coming out too, I heard. I'll definitely be looking at that. The lights, when it uses a small current draw, like 100 watts or something like that, the lights won't turn on. I noticed that, and that's okay, they said. That's fine. These are put in like a background state to save extra power, but it trickles that little power out from the battery to where it's still using an equal amount of energy from all 3 batteries, but because the current draw is so low, it puts it in a background state so the lights won't be on, but they're still working. And I think that's another important feature that, I don't know if it's a feature, but thing that most people would hook it up, and because the lights aren't on, they'll think something's wrong. That's what I did. I thought, well, the battery lights aren't on, so obviously they're broken or something, but they're totally fine. As you can see, this is at two lights, and this is at 3. Now, don't take that the wrong way. It's 25, 50, 75, 100. I hate meters like that. I do like meters like this, where you could actually see the number. I think it's much helpful because it gives a more accurate representation. So being that this battery is at 3 lights that says 75%, and this one only says 2, that means that this battery could be at 74%. So the problem with the light system with those quarters, I understand they save money to put this on there, but if this is at 75 and this is at 74, that means that they're very, very close to, being equal as they drop down together. But because of the lack of numbers, it looks like one's at 50% and one's at 75. It looks like they're way out, but they're not. I measured them with a voltmeter. They're the same voltage in both. So as soon as this one uses like maybe 1 more percent, that light will turn off and it'll jump from 75 all the way down to 50, which is not 50, it's probably 74%. So that's kind of confusing to the average consumer, I believe. Let's see, what else did I learn? This was fixed. That Hobotech guy that's on YouTube is a fantastic information source for us. We've learned a lot. This 100-watt output, this is one of the very first, this is actually the first run that PECRON released. I got one of the very first models. That's why I got it in September. That was before a lot of people even had it, other than, I think it was maybe 1 or 2 reviewers that had it before me that I saw. And this 100-watt output on the first generation of these is not 100 watts. It's only 65. Hobotech even confirmed that with all his gadgets and stuff and his double-fisted stuff, which, like I said, I enjoy watching that guy and Will and Jason and those guys. They teach you a lot about this stuff. And when you spend, $4,500 for a rack like this sitting on a $10 dolly, you want to learn about it before you just, throw your money in the garbage can. So learn as much as you can. I have 2 solar arrays going in. Obviously, this time of year, solar sucks. And in my part of the country, it's just a crap day for solar. I think I have 1,000 watts of solar on 2 arrays. I got 800 on one and then 200 on another one, which is a nice thing with this model because you can put different voltages and different arrays on 2 different MPPT controllers. That's fantastic because sometimes you can't either afford or you don't have, I wish I had 2 sets of arrays of 1,000 each and then pop them in there and then you can pull in 600 on this one and 600 on this one max. We run at 48 volts input at 15 amps. So we're not looking to gain a ton of energy. This is for a backup system in case, the grid ever goes down or whatever happens in this crazy world now. But everything else with this unit, it's really been good. We've had like 0 problems. I mean, I was able to pull in out of 1,000 watts of solar this time, crappy weather. I think we peaked at just under 300 watts today through the clouds and the rain and it's January, for God's sake. So, you're not going to get much unless you're above those clouds in an airplane or a spaceship or something. So you're going to get, garbage this time of year. It's just what it is with solar. And if you have a 200-watt solar panel, you're not going to probably get 200 watts. You're probably going to get anywhere between 60 and 90% of that. And if you get higher than that, consider you won the lottery because that's just not how solar panels work. You have to be in a scientific environment, laboratory with the perfect amount of temperature and the perfect amount of light rays and a perfect amount of this and no dust. And, there's so many variables. What you're charging into, a 48 volt panel going into a 24 volt battery. Obviously, it's got to do the conversion, so you lose there. You lose from the heat. You lose from the size of the cables. There's a lot of loss with solar panels, but I don't mean to ramble about that. So I just wanted to give another update just to kind of help people. I was trying to get a hold of that guy on YouTube that made this video. There's 2 videos out there that he made, and he couldn't get them synced up. And I have a feeling that he never set this. He never set the hidden menu in there, and I think that's why he's having so much trouble. I'm not mad at PECRON for doing it. I know it's a big company. I think it's a big mistake that they overlooked it or forgot about it or just didn't update it in time for the release. But the manuals that we got, it didn't list anything about the hidden menu. It didn't list anything about setting the E2000LFP with that hidden menu. If you look in this, even the updated menu for this does not show that hidden menu in there. I think that was a big mistake. Maybe they just didn't want people to monkey with their machines until the batteries came out. I understand that, but I think they should update it now, because if you